All right. Welcome back to Crocs Vision, everyone. I'm here with the owner and one of the players of the Crocs, Daniel Luna. Thanks so much for joining the show. Appreciate you. Good to see you.
Thank you, Jesse. Thank you.
Absolutely. We're here and joined by the owner of the Kissimmee Lambs, our special guest on Crocs Vision this week, Mr. Edgar Vasquez here at IBCK. Edgar, thank you so much for having us. This is a beautiful setup, by the way. A lot of fun putting this up.
Thank you so much, Daniel. Thank you so much, Jesse, and thank you so much, everyone that is watching this program.
So I actually want to start with you real quick first because you got into the Florida Basketball Association, the FBA, a little bit late. What made you want to form the Kissimmee Lambs?
Well, that's a vision that God put in our heart back in 2010 when we started the Lambs as a part of a recreational program in the community. But later, we make the Lambs part of the IBCK Educational Center, the school that is in our property since 2013. So basically, we was playing general tournaments, and by the pandemic, or by the 2020, we decided to go to the pro level. And that was the reason that we get a little late with the FBA 2023 edition.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what was the significance of the name the Lambs?
Well, the Lambs is something that I always have in my heart because everyone wanna be an eagle, everyone wanna be a Crocs, everyone wanna be, something lions. And I say to myself, well, the lamb in the Bible is the most stronger, character. So, and it's not any team in the world that the name is Lambs.
I have never seen one.
Exactly. So my idea was, you know what? Everyone can identify themselves with the lambs because represent Jesus Christ. And it's not something that belongs to Kissimmee. It's not something that belongs to IBCK. It's something that belongs to God. And that is the reason that we choose the name.
And talk about the impact that this school, IBCK, has on the Kissimmee Lambs.
Well, it's the number one sponsor, number one support. People in the school, teachers, staff, community around us, parents love the Lambs because the way that we work with the youth talents, with the kids, teenagers, even the adults and the professional level is developing a real impact in our community, especially creating opportunities for players that don't have the resources or don't have the connections to make it to the pro level.
And you guys obviously have played in both the FBA and I think you're transitioning to the ABA as well. What is the difference in the competition that you've seen in all of minor league basketball so far?
Well, the level of players, the ethic of work. Yes, we play in 2023 the FBA, and we played the 2024 and 2025 last season in the ABA.
ABA, okay.
We win the Y division. We are the current champs in Florida. So now we are trying to maintain a 9 months program with the ABA, with one roster, and with the TBL, the other rosters. So basically, what I see is level of players, levels of business, level of money, connections, TV, live streaming. So it's growing little by little in every level where you achieve.
Absolutely. Okay, since it's called Crocs Vision, I gotta talk to the owner of the Crocs. So, Daniel, for you have now played in the ABA, that you guys are going to play in the TBL, as you just mentioned, and you've played in the FBA. As a guy who just loves minor league basketball and has been around the minor league basketball now since I've known you for the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
Been a while.
5 years. Anyways, how has minor league basketball changed since you've entered the scene?
I think it's changed a lot more in Florida, and not to throw you off real quick, I'm glad you didn't start with asking about how I came up with the Crocs name because it was
Florida. Oh wait, no, those are alligators. Never mind.
I know, that's why it does not make sense that we're the Crocs.
Okay.
It was purely just because Claremont, and I was trying to find something with a C that I could not find. I'm like, something, anything. I was like cougars. I was looking.
That's not a.
Yeah, but I was like alligators. I wish I was like, you know what? We're just gonna be the Crocs. So it was alliteration. But
okay, cool.
You know, your Mr. Edgar put a lot more thought into that.
I'm very proud of the name of the Crocs.
Yeah,
I really like. I'm a fan of you guys.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. But yeah, so I think the minor league space it's actually gone a lot more into social media. You know, that's a big part of, you know, even the NBA. You know, the Adam Silver is, you know, his background is marketing, and you know, so there's just a lot of that. I think you know, you see a lot more highlights, you see a lot more YouTube stuff like that. So that's always interesting. Even bringing in social media players that have like a lot of followers and stuff. So it all comes down to money and stuff. But specifically in Florida, you know, it goes up and down. And since we've been in, when we came in with the FBA as well, which is run by Mark King, who is a good friend, and I've learned a lot from. Mr. Edgar has worked a lot with Mark, so it's been, you know,
excellent person.
Yeah, he's done a lot in this space too, especially in Orlando. So we you know, that's how we got our start. That's how we met. But we joined in 2020, like during the pandemic, which, as you remember, was crazy.
Hectic.
People, you know, in the minor league when you can't have fans, you know, it's like, okay, you know, probably the worst time to join, but you know, things were good. You know, we actually won that year, our first year, the FBA. It was against Mark's team, which is the Flight. And then we sat out, I think, the next year and just did the ABA. And we took that, you know, very seriously, and we went to California and traveled. And in Florida at that time, there was 5 of the top 10 teams were in Florida. So there was a Miami team and the Jacksonville Giants and a lot of other teams. But then it kind of took a little bit of a dip. And so we kind of just been sticking with the FBA. And really mostly the FBA. And then we do a tournament called the United Cup, run by Jermaine Barnes, who owned a league in Atlanta, and decided to take his team there and create a league called the LDC League in the Dominican Republic. And he also runs a couple other events, but one of them is United Cup. So we mostly just do those 2 things now. You know, and then in 2023, we did get to play against the Lambs, and that's when we met Mr. Edgar. And the way he runs his organizations, I mean, it's, you know, I learn a lot from him. But so now, currently, we're just kind of doing those 2 things. It's not not as much of the TBL or the ABA. It's more of just FBA United Cup.
Okay, and Mr. Edgar, I have a question for you now. As an owner, what is the goal?
Well, the goal is to put Central Florida and Florida in terms of that level of basketball in the map. So we really want to join forces, and we really want to see a hybrid team that can represent Florida. Maybe some guys from the Crocs, some guys from Serpents, some guys from Florida Flight, some guys from the local talent.
Yeah.
So the vision is to try to put everyone together in order to compete in TBL level. That is, you know, next, or maybe the thirdly most bigger in United States in level, in marketing and everything. So the goal is to put Central Florida in the map and be one of the most region with a lot of talent to offer and to open doors. At the end of the day, we want to see our kids be drafted in the league, NBA, and we are not seeing it too often in our region. So I'm very committed. We open doors, and you can ask in the community to all the teams that I'm be playing with, and they can tell you that I always promote, support, bring resources. My goal is to see Central Florida united in order to achieve more together.
That'd be awesome. I do a lot of international basketball. I call a lot of international basketball. And, you know, in Europe, there's all these different leagues. Each country has their own individual league, you know, Division 1, Division 2, Division 3. And then you have the overarching leagues of Europe where you have, you know, Euro Cup, which is not a D2 league, but it's the second best teams from every single individual league from each country, and then you have the Euro League there. And I think, the United States could use a lot more of something like that. I know Mark's trying to create something like that with the Florida Basketball Association specifically, where you have, the D1 teams, D2 teams, and then it goes down from the junior level up, right?
It's a European style,
Yeah.
and the NBA's partnering with the FIBA, so they're it's becoming a lot more
I'm excited about that one.
attention.
Though.
Yeah,
Especially because I call games for FIBA now too. So
Yeah.
It's fun. So I'm gonna hopefully get to be working in cahoots with the NBA eventually on that one. But
absolutely.
that'd be cool. Anyways, for you, has your role as an owner changed over time? What do you kind of think about now every day as an owner? Are you trying to get guys to the next level? Are you still trying to create an organization that's stable and has that stake in Central Florida as well? Like, what is your main goal when you wake up in the morning?
And that's something that I've learned a lot from Mr. Edgar as well. Is just having a vision for what you're trying to do. With him, and we'll talk more about his school and everything. It's a lot of athletics based, and so his team is tied into even the bigger picture of what he does outside of even sports. But so for me, I think my role has kind of changed a little bit because I came into it like, oh, I want to have the best organization. I want to beat everybody. I want to have exclusivity, just my own brand. But what I learned is, unless you are, Steve Jobs or some millionaire that has, money that can afford that kind of stuff. For me, I learned you really have to make relationships, whether you're making relationships with your local high school, to be able to use their gym, to the communities, to bring out fans, to other owners, like I said, meeting Mr. Edgar, that's opened up a lot of stuff for me, just working with him.
Yeah.
So, ultimately, that's the biggest thing that I've learned. And that's advice I would give to other owners too, is don't try to look at it like everyone's your enemy, learn and work with people. And a lot of owners, like we've played against a lot of teams in the TBL before, just not participating directly in the league, but other owners have reached out and said, we like what you're doing. Can we set up a game and we'll play? So, and same thing with the ABA and other leagues. But, so that relationship part of things is a big part of what I've learned. And so, yeah.
Who was the guy that was on your team in 2020? Because when you came in, you were trying to win everything. You guys did win everything.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Was it Steve something?
Steve Toyloy?
Steve Toyloy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What a unit.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
So, yeah. And thank you for bringing up that because Steve was probably our best player we've ever had. He's 6'9", played many years overseas, and he was a big factor. Although Cornelius Reynolds, who won the Finals MVP that year, Steve, you couldn't have done it with Steve, and he recently just passed.
I know. I was just gonna say.
Yeah. So which
that
is
was really sad
out
to
of
see.
nowhere, crazy. It hurt a lot of our guys. Because we were gonna plan to bring Steve back, and actually,
he was the foundation of the team. He was the number one star player on the Claremont Crocs in your inception year.
We'll talk more too about the relationship, but he was actually going to work with Mr. Edgar.
Are
we
you
were bringing
serious?
him out.
Yeah, we was doing the tryout. We was working with him that day, and we was almost set up some practice in his territory,
Oh, wow.
trying to see if we can put him more in shape. And well, we take that particular parenthesis and break, and sadly we hear the news.
Oh man.
Yeah, he lives in South Florida, or he lived in South Florida, so it was kind of like a commuting issue. But so we've been trying to connect that. So, but yeah, that players like that, it's like once in a lifetime you get, and
I just want to add in,
Yeah.
since we are talking about him, we just want to express our condolence and prayers for the family, because I know even it's just a couple months already passed for his family. It's a devastated situation. So we just want to let you know, the family, that we are praying, that we're here for anything.
And we are doing a memorial game with the FBA. So we're gonna
Really?
Yeah, it's before we play the Florida Flight.
Why wasn't I invited?
It's
you are
probably in the mail.
invited.
Yeah.
I know. Well, I mean, that'd be really cool to come and
Yeah,
see
no,
that.
I'll
Honestly.
send you the
Yeah, it's
information,
gonna be
but yeah, I believe it's gonna be the August 2nd, if I'm not mistaken, that weekend. So and that's gonna be Memorial. So
That's
we'll be
awesome.
announcing that
Okay.
On our pages.
That'd be awesome to
Nice.
celebrate his life.
Nice.
Yeah,
He was the nicest guy ever.
yeah.
Ever.
That's the
And then he
thing,
stepped
yeah.
on the basketball court, and you're not wanting to take a charge from him. There's
Nope.
no way you step in front of him on the
No.
basketball
He
court.
was like a football
Dominant
player.
on
Yeah.
and off the court. Just the nicest
Big
human
man,
being you can
a real
ever
big
be.
man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, rest in peace, Steve Toylite. Wow.
Real big man.
I can't believe we just went on that tangent. That was cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, question for you, Mr. Edgar. I mean, he
Yes.
brought up IBCK. What was your vision when you got into this school and you started, interacting with the students and the parents and everything? It seems like it's a big part of your life.
Yes, basically, is the needs that we see in our community. We live in a critical need area. When you see the map of how the state do the classification of the communities,
Yeah.
you can see our region in red. That means critical needs. So that means that private sector always are used to jump in and help with programs, developing programs in sport, education, food pantries, health fairs. I don't know how you call it.
Healthcare.
Healthcare.
Yeah, we used to have a clinic, a therapy center. So the reason is more to put in their hands of the kids
Yeah.
what they really need in education. Not because the public system is not doing right or the private sector is not doing right. It's because parents don't have access to the information the majority of the time. They are working, they have 2 jobs, they have 2, 3 kids that they need to take care themselves. So as a pastor, as a chairman of the board of the organization, we always looking and identify opportunities to make better those lives. We can just do a little bit, but because we have a lot of people around that are willing to help, so it's more easy for us to involve and bring more opportunities. So the school is the tool that allow us to go and not just to help in an area. It's just to make a difference the rest
Yeah.
of the life of that particular kid or person. So it's more a calling to do something for your community around. That's it.
Would you want some of the kids at the school to eventually play for the Kissimmee Lambs?
Yes, we always trying to make them aware of what it take to play in this level. But we have a lot of lack of knowledge in the minorities communities.
Yeah.
So a lot of the kids, we need to work with them from zero because they don't have the base, they don't have the knowledge, they don't know how to recover it properly, they don't know how to present themselves to owners, to managers, to scouts.
Yeah.
And we have very, very good talent, but sometimes they lose the opportunity because they don't know how to advertise themselves
Yeah.
to these big organizations. So part of my work is educate in a regular way from K3 to 12th grade,
Yeah.
and also educate through the sports my community around to create more opportunity in that particular sector.
And you're a community guy. I know the Crocs have always done stuff in the community. What's new with that?
I mean, really, we have tried to expand the nonprofit side, and
Yeah.
I'm again working with Mr. Edgar, just picking his brain on that because, you do have to get funding. You have to, everything costs money. But recently, I got an opportunity to speak with the mayor of Claremont. We're talking about working with the Claremont Rec, doing camps, and really it's just about getting your name out there in the community. Free camps, for kids, which we've done that, fairly often, probably about 4 times, usually during the summer, once a year, but just getting the ball rolling with that, but ultimately it all comes down to the business side of things, so just on the back end, getting the nonprofit, getting everything done, with our our legal side, you know.
Yeah.
But we are still, you know, doing that. So I've been recently got a chance to talk with the mayor, and we're hoping to do a camp soon at the Claremont Rec.
That'd be awesome. That'd be really cool. And this is way off topic, but since it's a podcast, we can talk about anything. I know you're a basketball guy, but you're wearing a baseball jersey. Is baseball your favorite sport, or are you a basketball guy?
My favorite sport is baseball, and I can pitch with both hands.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I can do
Would you hit, left or right?
right.
You a right-handed hitter? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but
I was left.
I can
You could
throw the
throw?
ball with both, and I have a couple of strikes already.
Really?
You know, there. I don't know how you call it when the player have 3 strikes. Is
You're out.
exactly.
Strikeout.
So I have like a 12.
12-6?
Yeah.
Curveball?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I would
And,
like
the,
to see
and the
that.
second sport that I really enjoy and love is tennis.
Tennis.
Yeah, because it's a one-on-one
Wow.
competition.
Yeah.
You need to run a lot.
It's not a team game either.
And the third favorite sport is basketball,
Okay.
because you have this background in baseball, you have this background in tennis, and also in basketball. It make you a little more smart, and you can react more
Yeah.
quickly because you practice different sports.
Yeah.
So,
It's cool. I mean, kids should always cross train, is what I was told when I was growing up. And so that's what I always did. I was basketball and baseball, and then I was baseball and swimming.
And also I have a lot of friends that came from my country, Venezuela. And
Baseball country.
They are very,
That is a baseball
they are
country.
Very high level players in MLB and everything, and they are around us.
Yeah.
Working with the community, with their own academies, and also we have a lot of contacts in Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and that gives us a chance to put together big activities in terms of baseball. So right now I'm working with the school to see if I can take this project to the next level in the same way that I did with the basketball.
Well, you know what's interesting is in Europe, not to bring out, you know, the European systems or anything, but a lot of the major clubs in Europe, they own multiple different sports, right? So if you look at, let's say, for instance, Panathinaikos in Greece, they have a volleyball team, they have a soccer team, men's and women's. They have a men's and women's basketball team as well. You know, it'd be cool if, let's say, a Kissimmee Lambs, it wasn't just a basketball team, it was also a baseball team. Maybe it's a tennis squad,
Exactly.
which would be really cool.
And soccer too. And really, your question, what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I know you are familiar with the ING in Tampa, so we want to have in our campus a similar program that can be affordable for our communities. You know, because it's really hard to send our kids over there. We know why. It's an excellent academy, but like always, it have a high cost. So our kids don't have access to that. And my job is to create the same environment, but as a lower cost.
Yeah.
So this is what we're chasing in that particular area.
Sweet. You've always been a basketball guy, right? Because you played
Yeah.
internationally.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I mean, sadly, I couldn't really play anything. I don't know. I think I'm more of as opposed to like just a natural athlete, I think I'm more of like a skill-based player. You know, I could shoot. I like to pass, you know. I'm more of a hustle guy.
That's the European style.
Yeah. So I fit more of like that.
Yeah.
You know, when me and my brother went to Spain, and we joined the team, we had some Americans. They thought we were from Spain. You know, they thought we were Spanish local players.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I wanted to play. My older brother actually plays football, baseball, like all that growing up. But I just stuck to basketball, and I couldn't play anything else. So
Yeah.
I just, kept doing that.
Well, so now that you're an owner, what is the hardest part about being an owner? I'm curious.
I mean, I think besides, the obvious stuff that we've mentioned, I think the sometimes just wanting to be able to give guys opportunities when, you can't give everybody an opportunity. You have 50, maybe you have a 15-man roster, maybe 8 to 10 of those guys play, and you got other guys that, maybe didn't get an opportunity to play in college because of grades or finances or just, things don't fall in line in life, And then so not trying to get those guys opportunities, that's kind of where I guess it's hard for me because I want everyone to play, but also you want to win. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like a double-edged sword. You have to figure out the balance, but I think trying to start up more of a development kind of a program or development approach is kind of something that me and our coaches kind of talk about. With the FBA, they have a junior FBA, it's going to be announced, but it's called the E League, which is like the G League for the NBA. But so putting together a team in that, and then also having just the normal pro team is something that we want to look at doing more to give those other guys opportunities.
If you could make one change to any of the leagues you've played in, what would it be?
I think.
Not to put you on the spot. Just curious.
Well, I mean, I look at the top, some of these leagues, like as an example, the ABL or the Miami Pro League or even like the TBL, which we're talking about. They get the overhead right. I think the main thing is just the quality. You want to, which the current league I'm bringing up a lot is the FBA. We're talking about better venues. Not using rec centers, using college campuses, college gyms like Rollins or Seminole State.
You guys played a couple times at Stetson last year, right?
Stetson.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah,
Division
Stetson.
1 University.
Yeah, and Amway Center, which I think you guys also did that when you were
Yes.
there.
That
in
is
the
an
FBA.
NBA arena.
So
Pretty good.
Yeah, we so just that kind of the quality and the consistency. When you're trying to build up a minor league, the like Latin Basket, Eurobasket, all these places that legitimize your league, they need to see that consistency and stats. All your stats are there. They want to see good game film and social media presence. All of that stuff ties into what you're doing as a league. So.
And what was the hardest part for you of being an owner in the first couple of years?
Well, the most difficult part is to make everyone understand, not just the staff, the team, the organization. No, everyone around you, Crocs, Royals, FBA, because I'm the new guy in basketball, but I'm not the new guy. I'm here for 24 years in Kissimmee, in United States, with a lot of knowledge and background in business. And when you're trying to teach or educate the community in order to help them to do better, they always look at you with fear, suspicion. Maybe they think that we're trying to steal their idea or knock them out. It's hard because they need to understand that the NBA work as a partnership, as an association. Everyone promote their own brand, their own style, their own culture, their own way to play basketball. So you can see it now in Oklahoma. So they're doing pretty good in terms of organization and basketball. And now the job paid off in the NBA. Even in the TBL, they have the current champs over there. So to me, the most difficult part is to put everyone in the same page, and that way we can help each other. But nobody believe you because you are winning, so they wanna beat you, and they cannot see that it's a business plan and establishing at the same time. So that's the bigger challenge, to win the trust of everyone around you.
Well, it's also establishing a culture.
Exactly.
And for you guys, obviously, day one, you came in and you established your culture as an owner, but also as one of the players. Let's say you go into a game, you lose, but it's a close game. Maybe it goes into overtime. Yeah, you lose, you're upset as a player, but as an owner, then sometimes you look back on it and think to yourself, you know what? That was really good for the league because that was a very, competitive game where if that gets shown anywhere, let's say Sports Center, we're going to get a bunch of clicks. Is that something that ever crosses your mind?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we played a TBL game just this past season and we got beat pretty bad. And to me, I'm like, that was kind of, we don't want to do things that way. I kind of learned that lesson. I'm like, it's good to show up and play, but you also want to compete. On the other side of it, we played in the FBA finals and it went 3 games. 2 of those games went to overtime. we lost, but I felt good about it because I'm like, it was competitive and it showed. I felt proud about the team that we put out there, and so for me, it's not even it's not about the wins and losses. It's how you're winning and how you're losing, and I've learned that because I used to just want to take every opportunity, and sometimes people approach you with a very short turnaround, like, can you put together a team to play us in a couple days? And I would always try to just throw together a bunch of guys, but it's you want to handle things with integrity. You want to have a group of guys that trust each other and play and represent your brand. So I definitely say that's definitely something I've learned is it's not just what you do, but how you do it.
Well, I would say you've been a pretty successful owner. So you've been in the FBA for 3 years, and you made the finals 2 out of the 3.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's pretty hard to do.
Yeah,
And so you made the FBA finals once, right?
Well, we win the first year the FBA,
There you go.
and it's like 4 years
Yeah.
winning in different leagues.
Yeah.
And now we heading to our next project, like we were talking. But also, I wanted to bring to your attention
Yeah.
one of the most difficult part for owners is to find players or kids that really believe in their own dream. Let me repeat that. It's very difficult to find players that really, really believe in their own dream. So they talking about a dream to play in certain level, but they are not behaving accordingly to that particular goal.
Yeah.
And they think it's just score, or do nice move, but it's more than that. It's mental preparation. It's even your nutrition, hours of sleep, hours of training. Also, you need to be a person that need to go to work because you don't have a contract yet.
Yeah.
So those high standards is very difficult to find. It's because the lack of knowledge and information that is provoked because the crisis that we have in the streets, that the information is not getting, is not getting to them. So they grow
Yeah.
with this particular little empty spot in their heart because they don't know what exactly they need to do. So this is when we trying to jump in, like Daniel and me, and trying to giving them that particular part that they are missing since they are little.
Okay. Then let's dive into that. What do you look for?
Well, what I'm looking for is a person that understands that you're gonna be facing very, very talented players, players that train 16 to 20 hours every week, players that shoot per session 1,000 shots, 750 shots. So, for example, I was involved in a practice this morning when I shoot 800 shots myself as a coach.
Wow.
So, and the reason that I did that is because I want to be sharp enough for the day that I'm going to do the tryouts. So, if I'm practicing and shooting 1,500 shots per week with 46 years old, and I'm hitting 70%, of course, without game, without option, just, standard shots. And I see that you are 20, 24 years old, and you cannot even shoot 250 shots per session. So that means that you don't have what we need from you.
Yeah.
Because you're going to face men that shoot 500 to 750 shots in every session, and they do 2 or 3 times a week. So it's going to be hard to beat those kind of players. So a lot of the disappointment that came from the players is because they don't understand how many hours they need to work in order to be at the level of these particular leagues. So when we compare G League and TBL, everyone is talking, is there.
Yeah.
Of course, G League is G League because the resources,
NBA,
because
yeah.
NBA, but TBL is in level is right there.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of players with a real heart, real motivation. So what I'm looking for is players need to understand what they need to achieve in their ethic of work in order to qualify and don't suffer the same answer or be rejected every time. So my goal in this particular tryout is to invest 30 minutes explain everyone what exactly we're trying to achieve and don't feel bad if you don't get drafted or you don't get in the second round or whatever. It's because we're trying to help you to understand where you're heading to.
Okay, so he's talking about a tryout there. Let's talk about
So
it. What are you guys doing together?
yeah, so the tryout for the TBL with the Lambs is August 9th, 9 to 2 p.m.
Yes.
And it's at RDV. It's at the main gym. Now it's called Genesis Sportsplex.
I work out there every day.
Yeah.
6 days a week. I'm
And,
in there.
Oh my goodness.
It's
Yeah.
NBA size court, so it's yeah, and that's so you can go to the Lambs pages and you guys can do. They have a form, Google form, and then you can also send the email out with your resume, which he can talk about as well. But it's gonna, when you are looking for a professional opportunity, just like any job, you have to have a resume, you have to have experience. It's just like anything. You don't get hired on face value. So you have to, show your experience, show why you should get the attention of the owners and the coaches, and then you show up and then you do the work. But so yeah, it's August 9th. And so we're partnering. So I'm, he's the owner of the Lambs, I'm the owner of the Crocs, but we're partnering where I'm going to be able to get guys, our top tier players, a foot in the door with his organization. Which on that note, we did also just kind of a ceremonially got maybe, yeah, this is his ceremonial
You're a Croc.
Crocs jersey.
Hey,
For the
always.
moment.
I'm a fan. Finally, I get my teacher right there.
So yeah, that's for Mr. Vasquez.
Hey,
And
thank you so much.
yes,
I
sir.
really appreciate it. You're gonna see me playing with this one day. You'll
I was
see.
going to
And
say
it-
you should throw it on.
The IBCK logo is on there. It's on the shorts and the top. So that
Wow.
his IBCK is a sponsor of our team. So
Yeah.
That's awesome.
but yeah, so we're just gonna be giving guys. He's got his own network of players that he's also worked with, and we're just bringing some of our network of players,
Yeah.
the top tier players, and just giving them opportunities. And they obviously have to do the work, and it's a lot of work. He'll speak on that, but we just want to get our guys that opportunity. And what better way than with the Lambs, the way that they work and the way they do things. They're gonna get players to the next level. They're gonna get players to improve. Even if let's just say they play with him for 1 year, the next team they play with, they're gonna be head and shoulders above everyone else just from that experience of they're practicing. And a lot of the players that I've worked with have played with the Lambs, and they have a good reputation of how everything's structured, everything's organized. He compensates players, so it's a very professional environment. At that level of G League, so if you're doing the TBL, you have to know, this is the real deal, so. So we just want to give those guys that opportunity, and for us, I mean, that makes us look good because our players get to move on to the next level. He gets players, that are built and ready to go and hungry, So, yeah, that's kind of what we're doing.
How do you decide which players on your own team that you want to give that opportunity to?
I mean, for us, and from what I know of what he's looking for, it's you got to be coachable. You have to be willing to listen. You have to be on time, ready to practice. You have to be in shape. We encourage our players to run every day. Get 3-4 miles a day. If you're not gonna get in the gym, run. You can run. It's Florida in summer. It's hot. You can challenge yourself.
Gotta do it.
So we've been trying to do that and just make sure guys know, like, you have to have that mindset of this is a job. It's professional, and if you expect to be paid, you have to handle it, respectfully. So yeah.
And how many players are you going to take?
Well, I'm looking to do 2 teams, 2 rosters. I'm not gonna say A team or B team, no, because I respect both league. ABA, excellent league, beautiful. I love it. National competition, high level. We was in the Sweet 16 in our first year. We win our division in our first year. So we love the experience in the ABA. So the roster that I'm gonna put in ABA is gonna be a top roster, and we're gonna pursue the trophy if everything goes good. And in TBL, we're gonna do a separate roster that is gonna be more hands-on in terms of the season because it's a little more money, more investment, more responsibility, more marketing. It's not cheap. It's expensive.
Yeah.
So, and that is gonna be the cherry of the cake if we can do a TBL franchise in our region because we already have the ABA working and I think it's gonna be possible. So to answer your question, it can be between 24 to 30 players and it's gonna be a program that is gonna last for 6 to 8 months. So we're looking to create local opportunities, and that way our talent don't have to play in South America or don't have to play in Europe in some leagues that they are not good at all. We have cases where our players, our citizens, go there, play, and they don't get paid. They get they don't get paid. They
Yeah.
play and they I don't know what the word that we're gonna use, but basically they just doing bad things with our players, our guys. So they don't have choices. They need to go out because they love basketball. So Lambs is trying to create opportunities, and that way our talent don't have to go out. They can go directly to the NBA, they can go directly to the G League, or they can go directly to TBL, or go directly to Europe.
EuroLeague, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but if we keep sending our talent to those leagues that the owners are not responsible for the payment, we are not doing nothing for our players. So that is what I looking for to
Yeah, and are
keep a
you
lot of local talent here.
yeah, are you looking at just this year for the TBL or do you think the TBL is at least a 3 to 5 year project? And if it is, what are your goals there?
Well, I like to stay in the basketball environment in every level. So let's see how it work out. But our commitment is until Jesus Christ come back for us. So that means a lot of years.
We're,
So
we're
yeah,
waiting.
yeah,
Okay.
we building for the future, and I don't think it's gonna be 1 or 2, 3 years. It's gonna be many years.
And how can the fans and supporters get involved with this? What can they do to help?
I mean, for us, I mean, we're always looking for sponsorships. We're always looking for partnerships. When in the leagues that we're in, a lot of times, we get financial compensation, for fans coming through. So just supporting coming through when we let, especially if you're in the Orlando area, but if you're even South Florida, you want to come and watch, our games or any of the Lambs games. That's always, a big part of, supporting the teams financially, but also just to have fans there. And so that, and then also just, let your friends and family know if you have a child that wants to dream and work hard and eventually make it, let them know about our teams. And, once they hit 18, if they want to join our squad, then, let us know.
Let me add in a little bit of that, and we also looking to help uh, those franchises with a business plan, and that way they can get the resources, the financial, and we already hired a big marketing company that is gonna advertise the concept. We're gonna look into rent the stadium of Kissimmee, the stadium that is close to Claremont, do some exhibition games, nice games. We're gonna bring public school cheerleader from those public schools. We're gonna do what the Magis do. They bring a lot of schools to the arena. They do the halftime show. We're gonna even do recreational activities before the games, after the games. So we need to involve and connect the community in that way they can go enjoy. And we need to create the same business plan that the NBA create. If you see the NBA, it's not just an association, it's a family business. Everyone go there, you go with your kids, you go with your wife and your friends, and you can have and spend time, quality time there. So we need to build our communities like that. Not all people is gonna go to the NBA games, but the majority of the people they're gonna go to your games and my game because their kids, their grandchildren, their nephews are there and playing there. So we need to connect our community with the teams, and that way we can create a ring that can help us to grow in resources and support. And the number two part of the teaching that we plan to do with couple things is show them how we did it, how we do things. I'm an open book. Always I let him see what he want, whatever question he have. I always answer him, guiding him. So we here to show everyone how we achieve this. And that way, you take out from the table any fear, any discomfort. So people need to know that we here really to help.
Absolutely.
So the training and the business plan training is a key part of the success of those things.
And to piggyback, when his first year in the FBA, he did nothing but help all the teams, the league,
Wow.
and in the ABA too. Just adding resources, helping things. He hosted the playoffs in the ABA, which is a big deal. People, I don't even know, if they really thank you a whole lot for that. Usually, it's like a team that's been in the ABA for a while, but his first year in the ABA, he offered to host it.
Wow.
So, he's backing up what he says. It's, and from day one with me, it's always like, hey, what do you need? I'll give you advice. I'll help. So that mentality, like I said, is something that I kind of trying to adopt more. I'm like, I need to do that more too. There might be someone else learning from me that I can kind of give them some advice, So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Whose idea was it to do a TBL team? Was it yours or was it his?
We talked about it. We did actually,
Okay.
because I've kind of been looking around.
Sorry for interrupting, but I like to pick his brain a lot. He's a smart man, and I really admire him in the way that he managed the business. And the thing that amazed me of him is the way that he connect with the talent, and they are willing to follow him. So when you see a leader like that his heart, and of course his wife, his children's, everyone is behind him. So I can see a calling, a real calling there, and that's the reason that we started dreaming each other, talking each other. Don't make us run. We are a very competitions.
Oh, yeah.
When we play, we really compete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But outside the court is like a friendship, like a brotherhood that really want to see him succeed. So Claremont is one of the city that we want to do a IBCK Educational Center. We are talking to take IBCK Educational Center as a second, third location there. So, and we are talking with him to see if he can be the face of that school over there.
Hey.
So, yeah.
It's a good face.
Yeah,
Really good face.
Yes.
It's a good face for a podcast.
A face for radio, yeah.
That's what my parents told me when I was growing up.
I make a lot of questions to him. I'm even use him, hey, call, see if you found a tournament that I can go. So he's the man that helping me to open more doors, knock more doors. So it's great. And together come up with this idea and then say, you know what, it's great to have a TBL team,
Yeah.
NBA team. So
I kind of dream a little bit through Mr. Edgar because he always one of the first times he was like, I want you to dream, keep dreaming, and because you start to kind of with the stresses and the finances, you start to kind of cut your dreams short, but and the TBL is very expensive. It's not for everybody, but if you can do it, it's a very good league, and so we talked about it, but it's really him and his team are the ones that are really behind all that. I'm wanting to help and support, but I did we've talked about it, and I've from my experiences with the TBL, the ownership and stuff, it's always top tier, and so I thought they'd be perfect for that.
Yeah, he helped me a lot at giving advice.
Yeah.
Because he have a lot of experience running leagues and teams in Central Florida.
Yeah.
So it was a great source of knowledge for me.
And so, is this new team gonna be the Kissimmee Lambs? Is it going to be the Claremont Crocs? What team is playing in the TBL?
Oh, it's the
Lambs.
Lambs.
It's
for
the
sure,
Lambs.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make
Yeah.
sure.
Lance,
Okay.
but his players wanna, join
Got
me,
it,
and if
got
they
it,
make
got
the
it.
team, more
Yeah.
than welcome. I
Kind of
like,
like
I
a
like to choose them.
like a pipeline. We're giving guys opportunities, but ultimately they have to earn it. You know?
Because at the end of the day, what he want and what I want is our players that show up in our team, support the team, and make the team. Ultimately, they want to play in the NBA. They want to play in G League. They want to go to Europe. So Lambs is like the ultimate step to show yourself, to showcase yourself. It's a legit opportunity in United States that you can showcase yourself,
Yeah.
especially with the live streaming and the marketing that the
Yeah.
league has.
And they pay players, like I said, they have a lot of resources, which is rare, and he pays players well, like in the ABA. Some of our players that went and played with them in the ABA let me know, like, yeah, he's really paying, and he's paying very well, opportunities. And that's why they had a good team in the ABA. A lot of teams and a lot of players in this area that don't normally play in the ABA that, there's a couple of his players that have other teams have been trying to get to play, but, they're not paying really like
Yeah.
he did. But if you compensate them and you show, okay, we're going to really handle this like a professional organization, like you would see in Europe or wherever,
Yeah.
then you'll get some of these kinds of guys to play. And so that's kind of what the reputation that, they're building. And, like I said, that's a unique opportunity.
That was part of my research in the community to fix the problem. Is our guys don't have a model to follow. They have G League, Orlando, Miami, big teams, but they don't gonna tell
Yeah.
you how to run the business. So the only way to teach everyone is enroll in the competition, show them how you do things, and hopefully you win. So thanks God we win, and we certify that the way that we run the business produce fruits, produce trophies, and produce resources.
Question: have you guys ever thought about potentially doing something in the line of front office internship and mentorship as well? Because I feel like that gets lost in this whole thing. Is you have kids that want to grow up and they want to play professionally, but you also have kids that want to be the general manager of the Orlando Magic or the general manager
Exactly.
of the Tampa Bay
Exactly.
Buccaneers. Where are we going to get that mentorship from? Is
Yeah.
that something you've thought of?
I mean, yeah, and I'm still learning, for
Yeah.
me, but I definitely that's something that I've opened myself up because a lot of owners will reach out and they'll say, "Oh, I like what you're doing. How do you do this or what do you do?" And I'll always give my advice, and I mean, it is a kind of a small community, with all the different leagues. So, but we don't really have a place to like sit and all talk, all the time. I think the ABA does a convention every year, which allows owners to come and share better practices and stuff. But that would be a good thing to do is maybe start like a class or something.
Yeah, at a local school or something, or
Yeah.
an IBCK.
Yeah, we have IBCK Faith University. We have IBCK Educational Center, which
Yeah.
run the K3 to 12.
Yes.
And we have the IBCK Faith University that allows to certify coaches, trainers, managers. So we teach in-house those topics, but we don't have that particular university open for the public. We have this university open for our staff, guys like Daniel, people that can really take advantage.
Yeah.
And yes, we are, dying to teach what we know about coaching, managers, and everything.
So give me next steps again for the TBL. How do you want players
Yeah.
to know about this?
So again, if you go to the Lambs on Instagram or even Facebook, right? I mean,
Yeah, I think they put in there, but Instagram is the most directly link. You can just click in the story, and they have the button that you just push and take you to the phone.
and I want to, reiterate too, because, every team runs its own way, and for the Lambs, they're looking to take this very serious. They're very regimented about their practices. The reputation is, it's tough. If you're gonna, go through a season, it's gonna cost you, but it's worth it. When it's all said and done. So, the way we do things can be a little bit more relaxed, just because the nature of the situation. Unfortunately, gyms cost money, so we might not practice every single week.
Yeah.
They practice multiple times a week for multiple hours, so there's levels, to things. So, but ultimately,
Just to add into his comment,
Yeah.
and that way our guys understand what's going on. Just to give you an idea, I start my season as a coach 1 month before of the tryouts. So that means my staff, my coaching staff, is already working with me, training with me 3 4 hours every session twice a week in order to warm up our brain and see how we're gonna approach this league. So if the coaches are training 1 month before in order to see you in August 9 and challenge you right in the court, and after you make the tryout with us, now you go to phase two. Phase two is 8 weeks that you need to be with us, and you cannot miss it practice unless that you have an emergency, you are sick or something really
Yeah,
valid,
yeah.
like a regular job. And after those 8 weeks, I expect that whatever you show me in August 9th, it need to be better in 8 weeks. So that means that that player is hungry. He know what he's doing. He know what he want. I don't care if he play in D1 or G League. If you don't pass those 8 weeks, you're gonna be fired from the team. And don't make me wrong. We pay for those 8 weeks. We don't bring you for free.
Yeah.
If we choose you in August 9, and we decide to invite you to our 8 weeks camp, we're gonna pay for each practice. So at the end of the day, we are paying you for learn, and maybe you can get fired because you don't made it.
Well, it's a real job.
Exactly. So after those 8 weeks, you made a team. So now it's your job to maintain a 5% growth in your effectiveness during the season, because we want to see you at the end of the season playing the playoff in a very, very good shape. So people think that is maybe unfair, but if you are really chasing your dream, you're gonna appreciate that we are enrolling you in this kind of program. Because what happens if one of the team believe in you, is gonna hire you, is gonna paying you, and you're gonna come back to us and say, Coach, do I owe you something? No, we just happy to see you made it. You don't have to give us any percent. We don't make the players to sign contracts that say if the NBA team drafting you, you owe me 10% because we preparing you. No, 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 no. This is just work. Job, you do your best, we're gonna do our best. And if you found a new opportunity, everyone in our organization is gonna enjoy and is gonna celebrate your success.
And going forward after this year, whoever's chosen, does that guarantee them another year on the roster?
No,
The year
I'm,
after?
I'm a little difficult coach.
Okay.
Some of the guys that know me compare me as a Popovich from San Antonio.
Yep.
I don't joke, and I don't like to give you any ideas that you can see me as a fool in one of my practices or something. I'm very aware of what's going on. So if you win with me like the last year, my guys, even guys that play D1, D2, guys that are really, really well known in my community, they need to try out in August 9.
Wow.
Even because even they are the champ, they need to register and they need to show me that they are ready for start the season. So NBA pay for final product. So let me give you an example. If you go to Walmart or Nike or
Yeah.
Under Armour and you purchase a pair of shoes or a t-shirt, you don't want a t-shirt that is missing one button.
Yeah.
Or the shoes that missing, a sticker or something. You want
Yeah.
something final because you asked me for a final money, right? So it's the same thing in basketball. If you come in, you bring your final product, and you need to be willing to be upgrade. And if you think that you play in different leagues, and because you have this particular resume, we're gonna give you the opportunity. No, brother, this is a local opportunity. You can be an NBA guy. Well, even last year, I rejected to sign a NBA player because the money it wasn't justified for the level that we was playing. So I give him the chance to players that are local that don't have any background in professional, and now they have it because the program. So conclusion is it's a real job. It's a legit opportunity. So because we are investing this money in order to help you, you need to show responsibility and love for what you want. So last one, I don't like guys that knows everything because I don't know everything. So if we tell you something, it's because we want to help you looks good in the tryout. So the majority of the guys they come so anxious to the tryout, trying to show something that we don't gonna even look at it because the real tryout start when 8 weeks of the program start. So the tryout is just to see if I really see something that like it, and are you able to let yourself be teaching, or you are coachable? Because, for example, if you have a right handle that shoot, but he don't know how to put a layup with the left, so that can disqualify you right away because in TBL or those leagues, you need to use both hands. So you have a lot of players that they don't understand that. So it's gonna be teaching, education, patience, but we're not gonna close the door. Those guys can come back and come back and come back, and then even open practice. I offer practice for free. I never charge my players because the concept that I have, they need, or the majority of the team charge players because it's fair. They showcase their talent. They putting together a website for them, so it's expenses involved. And they pay for that happy because it's an opportunity. Us, it's already a franchise, already developed, so we just pay and support an open opportunity. But at the end of the day, it's the players that need to understand and believe in their own dream.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He's paying players every time they step on the floor. I mean, that's very unique.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Your advice to players that want to play for him, now that you know him and his coaching style, what would your advice to them be?
Yeah.
Hey, don't hide nothing. He
I
and
know,
me
I was gonna say,
he and
hold
me
on.
have some bone heads
I
and
know.
everything.
That's
He
why
knows
you gotta
that.
ask
Go
him.
ahead, talk,
Yeah.
talk.
And honestly, he and I've talked with a lot of players. They say he's very similar to what you see overseas. You know, it's because the American culture, especially like at the lower levels, players don't like certain being pushed. But that's how you get. It's like you get diamonds when you put pressure. And so you need to bring that to bring out the best. You have to put them under fire sometimes. So. I would say you have to be willing to be coachable. You have to be willing to listen, and have a thick skin. But most importantly, like you said, you have to really want it. You have to really desire. It has to be. You have to be desperate. To want it. And for me as a player too, when I was growing up, I never had opportunities. I was when I came out of high school, I didn't have any looks. I got cut 3 years, and I kept trying and. I walked into a tryout with me and my brother. We walked in with 50 other guys, and the coach afterward he said, "I can't cut you. You took away all the reasons for me to cut you. You were running. You were the first in all the sprints. You were being physical. You were doing everything that we want players to do. So just think about it like that. It's not about making shots or being flashy. It's just keep your game simple, work hard, be respectful, be attentive when the coaches are talking, look them in their eye.
Exactly.
It's all those little things because, all that stuff adds up to being a big thing, you know. So all the little stuff adds up to the big stuff. So I think, I think that's what you would say, but
Yeah, and I don't like excuses. Simple. I don't care. I always measure everything to the high standards. NJ, Kobe, LeBron. So you really need to understand the business. So don't come with excuses. Just it's better to go and get a job, a full-time job, build your fortune, or be a rich man, not through the basketball, because through the basketball it's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you. So I don't want to encourage players that they don't understand their own dream, because they can suffer losses in their marriage, with their kids. They can miss a lot of opportunities with the wives, with the kids. So why you gonna entertain somebody that you know that he don't understand? So it's delicate, the topic, and that's the reason that I like to teach. Start early. If you see, I like to start my preseason 3 months, 4 months before.
yeah, they practice
Exactly.
a lot beforehand. Yeah.
It's not a negotiation with that. If you don't come to practice, you're not gonna be with me, and then you're gonna get fired in the middle of the season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
One final time, August 9th, for the players that are both on the Lambs and on the Crocs. August 9th is the date that they should know about.
Yeah, we've been telling our players, but yeah, August 9th, and they've been advertising it as well, so on the Lambs pages. But the first steps, you have to do the Google form and then fill out, send via email. You'll get their email and you send your resume, and a part of that is being attentive to what you're typing, no typos and stuff like that. I was telling our players, they're checking the emails, put some thought into what you're putting in there. Use spell check, all that stuff. Take it serious. But yeah, August 9th, 9 to 2 p.m. at Genesis Sportsplex. But, go through the steps and sign up. Don't just show up.
Grammarly, everyone. That is the program you want to know about.
Yeah.
Final thoughts.
Well, happy. To me, it's a big celebration. Let me tell you something. You have talent.
Me?
Yeah, you have
Oh,
talent.
I thought he was talking about basketball for a second. I was going to say, no, I don't.
The way that you talk, the way that you handle the interview, you really have talent. And me, congratulations for that.
Thank you.
And
Appreciate it.
That give me the opportunity to show the excellence. You see, even in this particular field, he's doing it with passion, with great disposition of his heart. So there's the same attitude. And for me, it's like I say, it's a big celebration, because I'm thinking in Leyland, I'm thinking in Claremont, I'm thinking in Volusia, I'm thinking in St. Cloud, Ponciana. I really want to see our Central Florida growing up. So to me, it's already a dream that I already achieved. See that everyone is talking about the opportunity that we are offering, and the years is gonna give us the reason. So my last sentence of work is: enjoy the ride, enjoy what you're doing, be prepared. Nothing is gonna be given. You need to earn it. But anyway, even if you don't make the team, you're gonna have the chance to hanging around with us, learn, and be part, maybe in another aspect, or maybe inside the coaches, inside the like you say, manager. It's opportunities everywhere in this concept. So keep doing it, keep working hard, and we expect to see you over there in August 9th.
And believe in your own dream.
Exactly. If you don't believe in
Bingo.
your own dream, we cannot believe in your own dream.
Exactly. Perfect. Final thoughts.
Yeah, excited about the future, excited about opportunities in Central Florida, and yeah, just grateful for your time and for Mr. Edgar as well for the partnership. But just keep in mind, like he said, our motto too is enjoy the journey. So just have fun, enjoy it, and win or lose, just focus on how you're approaching it.
Let's do this again.
Yes, sir.
And I did it. And we
He's a winner.
I earned my
Hey.
teacher.
Let's
It's not
go.
given,
That's how you
I
go.
earned it.
All you.
good.
Well, for the final time tonight, for Edgar Vasquez and for Daniel Luna, I'm Jesse O. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Crocs Vision.